We're gonna be looking at Family Feud. I used arrays for the first time. I still don't really know how to use arrays. I also don't really care. Anyway, we have some comments here. Me making Family Feud. We have indexes from 0 to 9 because our array is gonna only hold 10 strings, and we're gonna flip a coin to determine who's player 1. Very cool. What are the most basic names ever? This line right here, import Java util asterisk, it's so much easier than having to write out. Let me show you. Instead of having to write that, all I do is do the asterisk and I can get every single class in the util package. You always make your classes the same as the name of your file. And we're gonna make some arrays that are specific to my class. You make it static so you can put it and use it in all the methods. Private means that I can only use it in this class. I can't access it from another folder or in another file. The most basic names are James, Mary, John, Patricia, Robert, Jennifer. This 97 correlates to James. So if you guess James, you get 97 points. If you guess Mary, you get 82 points. John, 76. Patricia, 67. You get it. We made a scanner thingy that's static because I don't really feel like making it over and over again. Now we're in our main method and we're gonna flip a coin to assign who is gonna be player 2 and player 1. If it's heads, then the person who's using my game right now is gonna be player 1. Oh, it's right here. Public static boolean, flip coin. Public means you can access it from outside of this class, so I can use the boolean method called flip coin outside of this FamFeud file. If it was private, I'd only be able to use this method in this file. I wouldn't be able to use it in another file. It returns a boolean. It returns either true or false. Method name, flip coin, it's gonna flip a coin. No parameters, because all it does is flip a coin. We have our end parentheses. I always do quotes, comments. I always call it quotes. I always comment what each closing bracket does, because if I just have, like, look at that, you know, like, what is that close? You know what I'm saying? Random R is new random. I just initialized a random object called R. This basically just gives you a random number from 0 to 1. It excludes what's given there. It excludes the 2. It's exclusive on the upper range and inclusive on the lower range. If the flip is not heads, we're gonna return false. It means the player is player 2. Otherwise, it's heads and the player is player 1. If it's tails, you're gonna print out, oh my god, it looks like you're player 2. Otherwise, that means it's heads. It means it's true and it's heads. You're player 1. Now we're gonna actually run the loop. If the num wrong is less than 3, then we're gonna keep running this game. And every single time that it's wrong, we're gonna increment num wrong. I actually had this for a while, but I realized that was giving me an infinite loop, so then I just did that, and just comment out your problems. Public static boolean. Public means I can access it outside of this file. Static means I don't have to make an object. It returns a boolean, and it makes sense because the method name is are they right, which is either yes they are or no they're not. Our parameters are the user answer, string answers, and int score. I don't know why int score is there, but string answers is basically all of the answers that are correct, which are right here. For int x is 0. X less than answers the array length, you increment x. This basically just runs the for loop until the end of answers. If answers at the index of x, and you start it at 0 because you start an array at the index 0, and you go up until answers.length -1, which is why we do less than answers. If it was equal to, it would actually be an error because computers start at 0, they start counting at 0, people start counting at 1. It's very confusing stuff, I know. If answers, the array, at the index of x, which is gonna be a string because each element is a string, and since it's a string, you can run methods that you would on a normal string. Ignore a case because I felt like it. The user answer, what the user said. If an element in the answers array is the same as the user answer, then you increment the score with the same index as here. If the index at 0, which is James, is the same as the user answer, like if I said James as my answer, then at the index 0, you look at the index 0, the same x value, in scores, and you increment my score the same. So James corresponds to 97, Mary corresponds to 82, and that's exactly what's going on right here. The answers at X at 0, which is James, if is the same as my answer of James, then that's correct, and you increment my score with the array at the same index, which is 97. Then my score is equal to score, which is another method that I made. I couldn't return two things, so I just made the exact same method. Just one returns score and the other returns if I got it right. I did the exact same thing and I increment my score with the same index as the answer I got right. And that's exactly what I do here. And my score becomes score P1, and you keep guessing because you did it right, so you have another attempt. If they are not right, then you increment the number I got wrong. And you keep incrementing that until num wrong is 3. So then you go here and you make num wrong equal to 0, and you do the exact same thing on player 2. While num wrong is less than 3, you keep doing this. Every time you get something wrong, num wrong increments. It becomes 1, and then 2, and then once it becomes 3, this is no longer true. You know what? Let's do something else. I know I could use an else statement, but I don't really feel like it. Why is it being weird? Okay, it works. Hello there, welcome to Family Feud. What are the most basic names to exist? I know James is one of the answers. Karen, Mary, Elizabeth. Just comment out your problems.